he's all boned up, thinks he's going to be the next, I don't know, whatever, Eminem. I don't know what the popular rappers are now.
He's not even a peanut Eminem.
No.
Hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu, alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host Crypto Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, buddy?
I am doing fantastic. I can't remember another time that I've been more excited for you to do the show, because I feel like you're going to come out of the gates just blazing. So this is what? It's about 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday.
Yep.
And you were chomping at the bit to get a show done.
I'm fired up. I am fired up. I have so many stories to tell, none of which are crypto related, but so many.
We all know
stories.
that's not why you're here.
In fact, we had a guest that I made you scrap so that I could just come on and tell stories.
That is 100% correct.
I said, 7 o'clock and a guest? Nah, I got too many stories to tell. Another time, please.
I love it.
So I don't even know where to start. Okay, let's start with the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that was yesterday, correct?
That was yesterday. I have a bone to pick with you.
All right, fair.
You're the most anti-Super Bowl person I've ever seen, and I don't know. I mean, I guess it's because you're Canadian, so like NFL. Oh no, it's your forte.
People lose their shit in Canada for the Super Bowl. It's
okay, because that was one of my questions.
I'm just a contrarian. I think I'm just a contrarian.
Yeah, you like the NBA.
I do like the NBA, and I don't know. We were kind of texting back and forth yesterday, and if I was a football fan, like if it was the NBA. And every year there was the Super Bowl equivalent, we'll call it, even though it's like a 7-game series in the NBA but if all of a sudden like the fan pool grew by like 10x like on one game, I would be pissed. And all these like fake people, I don't know, it's my sport. And you can't, you need to be involved in order to watch it.
But there's I
see too many moms walking around
into the Super Bowl. Like the Super Bowl the game is secondary, maybe even tertiary.
I don't disagree.
To what goes on with the Super Bowl. I mean, the Super Bowl is my Super Bowl.
Right.
The saying comes from somewhere, right? Like, right. Oh, that's his Super Bowl. That is, I am geared up all day, ready to rock and roll for the Super Bowl. I tweeted pictures of my spread. You would have had a great time at the Super Bowl party.
I showed my wife. You had took a couple of pictures and shot a video, and I'm like, man, that always seems like, regardless, a Bunchu family party. Always, regardless if it's the Super Bowl or Christmas or Thanksgiving, I want to get involved with
know how to party.
Yes, they do.
So that's, first of all, I feel like if anybody can respect a good spread, it's you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's number one.
So just to kind of put a pin in that one. Yesterday we did have a full spread, full hors d'oeuvre, full spread. And with the entire family, my entire family, immediate. And what we watched was What we watched was the Simpsons Super Bowl episode.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was. I said I don't want to watch the Super Bowl. I said let's watch the Simpsons Super Bowl episode.
Speaking of, I just on a tangent of based on what you just said, I know what I'm getting you for Christmas next year. I'm actually going to get you. I've already pre-planned it, and you are going to love it. I love. That's all I can say at this.
I love surprises.
So you had a Super Bowl party for the Simpsons Super Bowl episode.
Exactly.
Okay,
that's exactly. So, it was delicious, and I ate too much, and I had a sore tummy. My guts were fucked at the end.
Absolutely fucked. All right, so number one is the spread.
Mm-hmm.
Number two for me is the gambling, which is,
I could imagine.
It's the best. So like, not even just the actual wagering on the game, but like we do these pools by quarter with everybody in the at the party, and you're like wagering against people at the party. It's just such a good time. Everybody's screaming and yelling, and then the game is kind of the game. It is
right.
what it is, but it's an event. You know what I mean?
And correct me if I'm wrong. It was 2 red and gold teams playing against each other.
I'm colorblind. I'm the wrong person to ask about that. But I believe both teams do have red, and they're just different shades. The 49ers definitely have gold. I don't know about Kansas City. I think it's more like a yellowy, but I guess.
All right. I feel like those are the 2 teams I confuse the most are Kansas City and San Francisco. So, yeah.
So, a couple good stories from the Super Bowl.
All right.
The Kansas City Chiefs won, came back in the fourth quarter. They were down 10 with 7 minutes left, and they came back and won.
Really?
Yep. It was actually a really good game. So, that I've been like into the, memorabilia, the card collecting, all of that stuff. So yes. I had a Patrick Mahomes, who's the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, PSA 10 graded rookie card that I bought before the playoffs for like $600.
It was that much before the playoffs?
Yes, in the event that I thought they would win the Super Bowl. They did win the Super Bowl. He was the Super Bowl MVP, and I strategically planned it as such that my eBay auction ended about 30 minutes after the game. I'm sitting there after the game, and I'm just watching my eBay just explode with bids.
Really?
I sold it. Would you like to guess what the auction ended for?
Okay, so you bought it for $600?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to overshoot it. Is $2,500 in the ballpark?
So it's less than that, but you're not off. You're not too far off. It was right around. It was $1,975.
Okay, I feel good about it. All right, that's fantastic, obviously.
1975. It was insane. I was just like, okay, this is awesome. Plus, I hit a 7-1 Super Bowl bet on the Chiefs, so that won me quite a bit of money as well. But the best story of the entire day. Do you want to preface this with the text I sent you?
Yes.
Like
so
the day of.
So you sent me a text. Hey,
very cryptic.
Hey, do you have any money left in your MyBookie account? Which I immediately said, no, I don't. I'm a sucker and I lose all my money. Because you had a prop bet. Am I saying that properly?
Correct. Yes.
And what was that prop bet? Yeah. So that's all you said. You're like, oh,
I just said, you said why. And
you said, yeah, that's right. And then you said, I
got some inside info on a prop bet. And you're like, what? You're like, of course you fucking do.
Exactly. Of course you do.
Right. So the prop bet, what was the prop bet?
So after, I think it was much later in the day, I had asked you, like, what was the prop bet? And you're like, over under on the national anthem. And I'm like, I read that and I was floored. I was dead. I was laughing very, very hard. And the inside info was the under, correct?
Correct. And it hit by a decent margin, actually. So I went out based on this info and max bet it anywhere I could find it. So what actually happened with this bet was all the books had it up all week, and the original line was like 2 minutes and 4 seconds. And Friday night, I saw some tweets where a lot of places were pulling it because of, what they deemed inside info. That means because somebody had hit it hard. And they relined it at 1 minute and 57-ish seconds, right?
That seems short. Even at the original time, it seemed short.
Yeah, and so Demi Lovato was singing it. I don't know anything about her, but so I got this inside info from a fellow crypto friend.
Amazing.
I won't name any names.
It wasn't me.
wasn't you. It's about as good of inside info as you'll possibly ever get. This person had a family member that was very involved in some of the pregame ceremonies. So much so, in fact, that they have to, basically down to the second, know what time they need to do their thing.
Really?
And so that person was getting intel, basically instructions that, okay, it was going to be give or take a minute 30 by a couple seconds, right? So that leaves, 27 seconds based on what the line was to be right or wrong. And
that's crazy.
So I'm like, okay, let's crush that. And so all of us did, and it worked, and we were celebrating very early on the Super Bowl.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Like what were the what kind of odds you get on this? Is it just
It's
like a
basically
2 to 1?
even money, so you win what you bet, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. On mine it was, but there was some others that you could actually get plus money on the under, which was even better. That's pretty sick. But so the Super Bowl ended up very nicely for me. It was a good time had by all.
So it's fun. It's funny you mentioned obviously all the betting and stuff because after the kids went to bed, I watched the best movie of 2020 so far, in my opinion, and that was Uncut Gems.
I knew you were going to say that.
Holy shit. Because that was all in my wheelhouse. That was, I mean, I've been a Sandman fan forever. I'm obviously a huge basketball fan, like the characters, like Adam Sandler is, and there was a ton of betting. Have you seen the movie?
Yes, I actually, so I haven't been to the theater in a long time, and 3 people called me after they saw it and said, you need to see this, it's right up your alley. And
100%
so I actually went
up
to
your
the
alley.
theater and saw it, and it was great.
Yeah. I mean, I loved it. I was floored. I thought
A twist
everybody
at the end I wasn't expecting.
Oh,
I wasn't expecting that ending.
I think as it was unraveling, I was like, okay, here, like I saw it coming. But yeah, it was great. And
fantastic.
And what I love about Adam Sandler movies is that
So are we calling this a recommendation of the week?
Oh yeah, 100% recommendation of the week.
Yeah.
But what I love about Sandler is he always puts the hottest chicks as his love interest in every movie. Like I don't know who that lady was. She was unreal hot.
Yeah.
So good for you, Adam Sandler. Make movies that you want to make. Make a ton of dough, and put your leading lady as the hottest chick.
They're saying it's his best performance ever. I wouldn't be.
I mean, I've always been a
disagree.
fan. Like in general, any sort of like big comedians, like your Adam Sandlers, your Robin Williams, your Jim Carreys, anytime they do a serious movie, I am 100% involved. I love them. I was a big fan of Punch Drunk Love back in the day. Like that was kind of his first serious movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah,
I don't think I've actually ever seen that.
It's solid. I mean, I forget who the director. It's a good director. But it's good. He's kind of like, I don't know, some sort of mental challenge he has in it. It's not, he doesn't go full on, but it's very good. That you could kind of tell he had some chops there, and he had done a couple other movies. I think there was like a 9/11 movie he had done where I think he lost like all of his family, and he was kind of recouping in New York City. And then obviously, like this one's definitely the best one. There
was that one movie where like he had the remote control and he could do anything he wanted, and yeah, he was great in that.
Oscar award worthy. I think Walken was in that one too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yes, that's funny.
But yeah, no, this is definitely one of his finest roles, and yeah, highly recommend. It's just good. I just love like the fact that like Kevin Garnett's in it, and it's like real. Like it's.
So here was my only problem with that movie.
Go ahead.
Like there is a 20-minute stretch of that movie where all it is just yelling. And it's just yelling over top of everybody. And it's just like, I'm sitting in the movie theater and I'm having the highest anxiety of any movie I've ever watched.
When he's looking for the rock?
Yeah, that's probably when it...
Yeah, I think when like... Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, there's a high anxiety to it.
That was my only complaint was there was a point where like all it was just yelling, and I was like, oh my god. And then I remembered I like Always Sunny, which it's just 14 seasons of yelling,
just yelling.
By the way, Charlie Day was in like 3 Super Bowl commercials yesterday. I
haven't watched any of the Super Bowl commercials, so I'll definitely pop after this and check them all out. I lie. I saw I'm assuming it was a Super Bowl commercial. It was the Groundhog Day Bill Murray one. It was a Jeep commercial.
Yeah, I think I missed that one.
I assumed it looked big budget, and I assume you had to pay Bill Murray a ton of dough to do it. So I just figured it was a Super Bowl commercial, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. So I also have one more story.
Go ahead. I feel like you have lots. So
This one is
unleash.
This one is a follow up to a story I told a couple of weeks ago for my real life REKT.
Oh, right. You teased this early. Yeah, I'm excited about this.
And you don't know this.
I don't know the story yet.
I'll tell you. So, what story am I referring to, though?
You are referring, for those of you who are up to speed on the shenanigans that Bunchu gets into at weddings, he was...
or just in my life.
Yeah. He was asked by a groom at his last wedding he went to deliver some papers to a unsuspecting... guest at the wedding, which Bunchu thought was a complete joke. Turned out it was 100% real. So there's a follow-up to this?
Yes. So the papers were paternity papers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've now learned a little more about the situation. So I guess the joke, where I thought it was a joke, was that it was fake papers, right? But they were real papers, and the joke is that it's a running joke in their friend group that the friend is actually the guy's kid's dad. So like it's like kind of like a overgrown your mom joke. You know what I mean? So that was where I thought it was a joke. Okay, so but the papers were very real, 100% real. So my buddy calls me yesterday or Friday, and he goes, I feel like I need to tell you this because you're invested. And I was like, all right, shoot. And he goes, so, it didn't really go anywhere. The kid that you served was like trying to think of ways to get revenge. And so this is going to be the real life REKT of the week. And he finally came up with something, and it's brilliant. I said, what? He's like, well, he did something really dumb at first, and he like sent his mom like a bag of dick glitter. And I'm like, what? Like, that sucks. I'm like, that sucks. He goes, but this is the top of the heap. So he goes, my buddy said, all right, why don't I take these papers and plead no contest? Say that the guy is really my son's dad, and I will file a suit for child support. And so he has filed papers against his friend in which he will owe him now $800 a month until the kid is 18. Not only that, but the guy will have to pay any medical bills that he might incur. And he has now gotten a lawyer, gotten those documents written. He paid one of his buddies to take the day off of work, drive to Connecticut, and wait outside the hospital that he works at to serve him papers saying this exact same thing. Tell me that's not the biggest own of all time.
That is insane.
It's genius.
It's so good. Like, I wouldn't... Oh my God! Like, I
couldn't believe it when he was telling me this.
I
couldn't believe it. I'm like,
I love this story so much. It's like, just blossoming. It's blossoming into a legendary tale at this point.
Like, it could be a movie at some point.
I agree. Maybe we will write this movie.
I think Adam Sandler could star in it.
I would watch it, and I just want to know who the hot chick is going to be. That's going to be the baby mama in this.
Yes, well, that's really the only crux left to decide, right? Those are my stories.
I mean, you were right. We were right to cut loose any guest today.
I couldn't have told these stories without.
No, exactly, and they would have they would have been a little more stale had we waited a week or two.
Correct. You got to get them in the moment, and so this guy now is going to I don't know what the next chapter is. He's probably going to fight it now that he's not the dad, and have to spend money to fight it.
That's amazing.
It's so ridiculous. Oh my God, I can't even.
That's
believe
amazing.
It. Those are my stories. I needed to get them off my chest. I was ready and raring to go. Should we get to some news?
We should.
Maybe 27 minutes in.
27:40.
Oh, my God. It's one of those days, people. Sorry.
I love it.
First of all, Super Bowl Monday should be a national holiday.
I don't understand why it's not.
Well, I think, have you heard the rumors that they're trying to get a couple more games added to the regular season schedule?
Oh, really? No, I didn't hear that.
If they do that, they could easily have the Super Bowl on President's Day weekend.
Which is what, 2 weekends from now?
Yeah, and then it would be a national
That's
off day. So I'm pulling for that one. Anyway, all right, let's get to the news. All right, am I starting off here?
Yeah, you started off, buddy.
All right, so a couple of weeks ago, we made our predictions for 2020, and I predicted that a Bitcoin ETF would be approved this year as my bold prediction. The Block Crypto says otherwise. This is from Mike McSweeney at The Block. The title reads, "A Bitcoin ETF won't be approved in the U.S. this year. Most Outlook survey respondents say." So the people are against me. A significant majority of those who took part in the Block 2020 Outlook survey don't believe U.S. regulators will approve a Bitcoin ETF this year. 106 participants drawn from many of the world's venture capital firms, financial services, and segments of the digital asset ecosystem. 82 of those 106 said no. That's 77%. What do you think?
That's a big number. That's 77% is, not looking great.
22.6% of the survey pool said yes. I don't know. The SEC provided some insight into the nature of its concerns in a letter from October in which it rejected the proposal from asset manager Bitwise, which we covered here. So remember, that was the story where they were putting together like a 200-page rebuttal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the quote here says, "Without data to show the lead-lag relationship between prices on the two sets of platforms or any evidence about the directionality," that's a word, "of the lead-lag relationship, which might indicate that changes in price on platforms with fake volume are or are not leading changes in the prices on real platforms, the Commission has no basis on which to conclude that prices on real platforms are insulated from the rest of the market." So that quote says they think it's manipulated. Right?
Which is probably correct.
In which case, if you can manipulate something,
kind of hard.
Obviously will not approve an ETF for it. Because the ETF is just going to allow much more.
I just wish I knew. I wish I had a little bit more information on, or knew more about kind of the the bigger stock markets and stuff like that of the world, and how much manipulation happens there. Because I have to imagine there's a good amount of manipulation happening on things that have ETFs currently.
Probably. Right? But I feel
there's obviously there's probably a lot more with Bitcoin.
Well, it just feels like maybe it's more paper thin, right?
Right.
Like, it takes a lot less to move a Bitcoin price than in terms of volume than it would something like Apple stock.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
What I mean? Obviously, that's not an ETF, but you get the point.
I do get the point.
So I think that's probably the issue, because and especially because we see these reports come out where there's potential fake volume. So how can they trust what's real or not? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. I guess I probably will be wrong on my bold prediction, but that's
there's like a 22% chance you're right. I'll take those odds all day long.
Absolutely. Oh, man. All right. right, you got
Yes,
one.
I do have one. This is from the blog Crypto, and this is from Mike Sweeney as well, or Mike McSweeney, pardon me. Reginald Fowler.
Do we have a new favorite?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's kind of hard to dethrone our gal there, but we're definitely fangirls of Nagita.
Of course.
Reginald Fowler rejects plea deal in ongoing crypto, quote, shadow bank case, prosecutors say. So efforts between U.S. prosecutors and Reginald Fowler, the former Minnesota Vikings investor accused of running an unlicensed money transmission business for crypto exchanges, to strike a plea deal have broken down, according to Bloomberg News. Fowler rejected a plea deal, which seemed all but set to occur following a court hearing last month, amid disagreement over the amount of money he would have to be required to forfeit, according to Bloomberg. Word of the talks breakdown was included in a letter submitted to the court by prosecutors on Friday. The letter said, quote, "On Thursday, Mr. Fowler rejected the current plea offer, and the government has formally withdrawn the offer. Thus, the parties anticipate the case proceeding to trial as scheduled on April 28th, 2020. Although the court set a schedule for motions in advance of the trial, a motion schedule for general pretrial motions have not been set. Thus, the parties will confer and submit a joint letter within the next week proposing a schedule for the court considerations." Fowler has was indicted last April for running a so-called shadow bank, and that was tied to...
What is a shadow bank?
I don't know. It's like a bank. It's like maybe a bank behind a bank.
Is it like Puxatawny Phil?
Maybe.
Is it like a bank that sees
its shadow and runs away?
It's 6 more weeks of winter,
right. No, it's a bank that's only up for 6 weeks at a time. That's what it is.
You heard it here first, folks.
Shadow bank. That was tied to Crypto Capital, a payment processing service once used for major exchanges like Bitfinex, Kraken, and others at one time or another. So Crypto Capital, shadow bank. Yeah, very, very dark, very shadowy. We'll see. It seems suspicious, at least. But I don't know. To me, when you reject a plea deal, your confidence level must be sky high. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Plea deals are what I live for. I mean, I would be taking plea.
You live for a plea deal?
I live for a plea deal.
If that's not an admission to everything in your life, I don't know what is.
Yeah. So yeah, I would never reject a plea deal because I'm very guilty of most things. So yeah. So this guy must be, have either a big set of beanbags or is in
With
fact
a name
innocent.
like Reginald Fowler.
Oh my God.
I mean, you have a set.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll see. We'll keep our fingers on the pulse of this story and keep you updated as.
All right, I got one more here, which is I've also been the lead of all the Libra news here. So we've got so this one struck my fancy, if you will. And this is by our girl Yogita Katari. MasterCard CEO reveals why the payments giant quit Libra. So, we've been talking about it a couple times where we saw all these original participants in the Libra Association are now backing out. So, I think Visa did, MasterCard did, PayPal, and so some of the other really big companies backed out of it, right?
Right.
So this says here that MasterCard CEO Ajay Banga has revealed reasons why the payments giant quit the Facebook-led Libra stablecoin project. So there's a quote here where he says, which is interesting, "When you don't understand how money gets made, it gets made in ways you don't like." So, I mean, I guess it's interesting, but how is that any different than, our actual dollars, right? The other thing he says here, which I thought was I think more appropriate and justified, I think. He says that Libra was initially positioned as a financial inclusion tool, but when it transited to a proprietary digital wallet, Calibra, it raised a red flag for MasterCard. So his quote says, "It went for this altruistic idea into their own wallet." And I'm like, this doesn't sound right. So that's his direct quote. So obviously, if it's a proprietary thing, MasterCard ain't going to benefit from it.
Right, exactly.
What he's really saying. The 60-year-old CEO also had concerns when Libra Association's members would not firmly commit to compliance measures such as KYC and AML. MasterCard quit the association last October alongside Visa and several other firms. And so it started with 28 members in June, but over the months, 8 of them have left. So we're down to 20 members left in this Libra conglomerate.
What do we need to get in there? 10 mil?
I think that's what it was, right?
I feel like that was the number. Let's scrap together some pockets. I agree. We're pro Libra.
We could crowdfund this thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Buy some more T-shirts, people.
Yeah. Speaking of, hey, do we have a REKT podcast jean jacket?
We don't, but we will now that you've mentioned this.
Okay, because there's a friend of mine who was at the Super Bowl party last night, and she wears a jean jacket from another podcast that has a skull on it.
Really?
And I said, bitch, wear mine.
Yeah, no
She's
kidding.
like, do you have a jean jacket? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure we do. She goes, if you get that for my birthday and sign it for me, I'll wear it everywhere.
Oh my God,
so.
Yeah, 100%. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, so there you go. I could give my first autograph.
I'll make it happen.
I could give my first autograph here. So, all right, that's going to do it for us for news. What are we doing next? My favorite segment?
Yeah. DTT?
Yes. So we are going to the chamber vault on Defend That Tweet.
The defense is not back, Mo.
Hey, just get our energy going at the defensive end. Keep playing defense.
So, we've kind of already talked a little bit about your Super Bowl hatred, so I won't go into that.
Again, it's not a hatred. I'm just sick and tired of seeing moms walking around pretending like they know Tom Brady all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? It's sickening.
First of all, those people are Mom Brady, and you leave them alone.
I'm sorry.
Okay? Tom Brady was in a Hulu ad.
I guess they'll be Mahomes now? Is that?
Yeah, Mahomes. I like that. Mom Holmes. Yeah. Yes, I like that. All right, so I steered away from your Super Bowl tweets. We've actually got some decent crypto tweets here. Decent as in for fodder, not the content.
Right, 100%. Yeah. I'm like, what?
But I will start with this one. Your pinned tweet, which I can't believe I've never really brought up before, from 10/18/19. So
was that October?
Yeah, that's October of 2019. And it says, my wife says I have no friends. Then I show her my followers list. And then it's a GIF of Kenny Powers.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
So
33 likes, 4 comments, by the way. So you have at least 4 friends.
Absolutely. My wife loves when she's upset with me. Her go-to attack is podcast and Twitter friends. My only friends are like basically that I have no friends, and I focus on Twitter and the podcast. Like that's her go-to move. So yeah, I just show her every time. I'm like, yeah, I am popular. I do have friends. Look at my follower list, because it really infuriates her.
One of your 4 replies was me. Which I just bumped so you could see what I replied.
That's funny. So yeah, no, she I think when we first started this, it was obviously a fun thing to do, and we do put a lot of time into it. And I mean, now I'm like, this is, it's a job now, sweetheart. I'm working hard over here. So sorry.
Oh my God. I mean, it is a job.
100% job.
Not see, like the fun part is like
this part.
Most people don't realize what part is the job, right? This is not the job.
No, this is the easy part.
Yeah, this is the fun part. This is the part you look forward to. It's all the other stuff that goes into
sourcing jean jacket suppliers.
That's what I mean, right? Exactly. Like, you need to make sure you have the world's finest denim.
Right.
And it's got to be boiled.
Right. It has to be maybe double boiled.
The correct temperature. And I want you to have half of that denim.
You know what? I appreciate that.
All right. Another tweet here. This is from one day ago.
Okay.
5 likes, 2 comments, another one of which was me. Man, this is just a giant circle jerk.
It sure is.
What goes around comes around and around. Over the weekend, actually, shit, I can't believe we didn't talk about this. The zero hedge thing.
Right. I wasn't familiar with it, I'm going to be honest.
Well, I don't know if I really was either, but I think it's a interesting thing.
Yeah, right? They got censored essentially.
They got banned basically for doxing a Chinese doctor with the whole coronavirus thing.
Right. Yes.
Oh, by the way, have your thoughts changed on coronavirus since our last episode where we basically wrote it off as nothing?
Yeah, no, I feel like my entire family was sick this weekend, and I think we all have the coronavirus.
I've been wheezing for like 3 days, so I don't know.
I mean, it is February, which is cold season, so, it is what it is.
I mean, it looks pretty serious.
Well, and then there's talks of like China,
yeah, with the bio-warfare.
Also, maybe diminishing the number of cases that they're actually calling coronavirus.
Right.
So there's some suspicious things going on.
Typical China stuff. Yeah. But anyway, with this zero hedge, the narrative around this zero hedge thing was crypto Twitter was kind of in an uproar that they got banned. And then the narrative was, well, Jack banned zero hedge but gave us the emoji on the hashtag.
They sure did. Yeah, totally redeemed himself.
Over the weekend, hashtag Bitcoin got its own Bitcoin emoji that goes with it afterwards.
Amazing.
So then after it was what has the hashtag for Bitcoin and what doesn't. So hashtag Bitcoin does, hashtag BTC does. Right. But then everybody was up in arms like, well, not up in arms, but proving, Bitcoin Cash doesn't.
BSV doesn't.
Yeah, right. Which is, it's true.
It's not.
So you tweeted one day ago, hashtag Bitcoin. And then after that comes the Bitcoin B. And then space oops.
Yeah. I was surprised that nobody put this genius, tweet together already, because as the calculator once told us, 80085 spells boobs. And
hashtag Bitcoin plus OOBS spells Bitcoin boobs.
I love it. So again, I feel like that one didn't get the love it deserved either. I feel like that was
5 likes and 2 replies, one of which was me saying that this was underrated.
There you go. You know what? The audience that I want to feel appreciated by appreciated it. So that's really all that matters to me.
Oh my God. That's it. I've got your back.
I appreciate it. That's a 50+ like tweet though. I mean, that's all day long.
Should be. The problem is I think you have a shadow bank of followers where everything you tweet has 3 to 5 likes.
I'm very convinced that 80% of my followers just block me or mute me, and they don't see my gold. So I wish there was a way to find that out.
Your digital gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. 2 more tweets here. Also from one day ago. 3 likes.
Mm-hmm.
It is a poll.
Okay.
Cool. 3 likes, 2 replies, and I know for a fact I am also one of both pies. Just bought a bag of Raven
Right.
and TRX, which will do better in February, and you put out a poll.
I did.
I have a beef to pick with you on
Go
this.
ahead.
You spent 15 minutes on a Justin Sun Tron rant
I did.
last week, and then you go buy Tron.
I did.
Explain. This is a real defend that tweet.
Easy defense.
How?
I'll tell you. You don't know this. I didn't explain it in the tweet.
You don't know this about me, but I'm a hypocrite.
I am very hypocritical. No, I was listening to the Ledger. I know I talk about LedgerCast all the time, but they're again one of my fave podcasts in crypto. If you want, smart crypto.
It's the only reason we know anything about crypto.
It's 100% right. And Brian was saying that I think both Tron and Raven, I think more Tron was primed for a breakout. He even tweeted again yesterday about it.
So are you saying he gave hashtag financial advice?
He absolutely gave me hashtag financial advice. I was gonna tag him in it, but I didn't feel like bring him into that shitstorm. But yeah, that's 100% why I'm like, well, let's see if he's right, because if he's right on both of them, I will definitely send him my kudos. But yeah, so far so good. I think Raven both buys are up, but waiting for that 30-40% breakout.
You actually had 113 votes on this.
Yeah.
So someone out there's real.
Yeah, Raven.
I would hope you don't have 113 alt accounts.
No, it's
that
close.
would vote on
It's
your
double
own
digits
poll.
for sure, though.
Raven dominated the poll.
They did.
84% of the 113 votes.
So as of right now, I'll tell you where.
So like basically just Justin's son and his mom voted for Tron.
So Raven is up 11% to BTC, and Tron is up 3% to BTC.
There you go. So the people are right.
Yeah. So
do you think this was a Raven bot issue?
yeah, no, I think Raven is notorious for the bots, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's how they won our bracket.
They did.
By the way,
that
that's
is coming up
again soon.
exactly.
Damn, I can't believe.
So yes, I did zero research in both of those purchases. 100% was just like, oh, those are the two Brian said. I'll just buy those and see what happens. Let's see. He was right on a couple of them. But Josh was right on a couple too. So we'll see what happens.
All right, last one here. So most of these have been crypto related.
Yeah.
So let's
look
keep
at us.
the theme going. Yeah, I know. This is 2 days ago. 10 likes.
Ooh.
1 comment.
All right.
I don't think it was me.
Okay.
Downloading the Bitcoin Core wallet for the first time. OG status check mark.
Yep.
Talk about it.
So I was asked to download. We've been dealing with some real OG crypto people as of late. And we were asked, I think I'm going to include you in this. We were asked to download the Bitcoin Core wallet. And I was asking the person, which one is that? Like, how is the Bitcoin Core wallet different than, say, like a desktop wallet? You know what I mean? And I was shamed appropriately. So yeah, they said apparently, bitcoin.org. You just download the wallet there, and it took me 2 full days to sync the wallet.
I just sent you.
You did.
A screenshot before the show.
How long is it taking
Mine
you?
said it was going to take 43 weeks.
Yeah. So see ya in late 2020.
Yeah. I'm still downloading it right now. It is now updated to 10 hours.
Ooh, nice. That's reasonable. But yeah, so I feel, and I told the person, I said, I would bet most people don't have this. Would you agree?
Oh, I would totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, I feel again, we came in.
In fact,
we came in late.
let's put it out on a poll on the podcast account.
Let's do that. Do you have the Bitcoin Core wallet? All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I bet you most people, the answer is no.
so I do have it,
Because-
and I'm now an OG. So nana
Yeah,
boo
I
boo.
think that makes you one, right? I think OG status check.
Yeah, I feel good about it. And yeah, man,
10 hours away from also having
it takes a long time because it's just, I think it took 200 plus gigs of space on your computer to get the entire chain.
Oh, I don't have. Ain't nobody got time for that.
And then I think it goes to like 2 gig. It just keeps like 2 gigs of the most recent. So we'll see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So right. Well, those are your tweets. Actually, I think all but one were crypto.
Look at
related.
that. That's pretty good.
We actually did a substantial amount of crypto stuff.
I feel good about today.
Yeah. I mean, great stories.
OG crypto podcast check mark.
Check mark. And nice, tightly packaged, under an hour. Can you believe it?
I love it.
What do we got Wednesday? More of us?
We'll see.
Since I cancel all our guests.
Yeah, you know what? The ego has spread.
Dude, it's the first time I've ever done something like that, and you were. I think you were proud of me.
I was 100% proud of you. I was more than glad to let your ego loose. So it was a good day for me. I was excited to hear this.
Anyway, I'm gonna go watch a Super Bowl Simpsons replay.
Nice. I'm gonna watch the commercials on YouTube.
Awesome. What else? Anything else before we get out of here?
Yeah, just make sure check out some of our cohorts on coinhq.tv. We got the Crypto Show just put out a new episode yesterday, which was very funny. That's Rent-A-Rocker for those of you guys listening. He was, I don't know if you've seen this yet, visibly intoxicated on this.
No, oh my God.
It's very good.
Are we talking like drunk spilling chili on his jersey? Intoxicated?
I mean, I would say he was able to put the show together. And it was good, but yeah, visibly intoxicated. So shout out to Rent-A-Rocker for putting out some quality product. But we got new shows from Roy.
I have a great idea for a show. You know the show Drunk History?
Of course.
Drunk Crypto. It's like you get hammered and you have people on that like either from projects or whatever, and they have to be drunk, and then they explain their stuff.
I like that.
Tell me that's not
so genius. One of us has to be sober.
Yeah, one person. Yeah. We could take turns.
I can be sober. I'm not a big drinker.
Yeah, but you could come high as balls one day.
I'm mostly high as balls most of the time. Except for 10 a.m. shows.
But I think the most important part is whoever the guest is has to be hammered.
Agree. There's something we could provide the story. So like tell us about like the Bitcoin, how Bitcoin was created essentially or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a fun story to tell.
We could even just make it as like a every once in a while version of our show.
Right.
Like once a month we do Drunk Crypto on REKT Podcast. It's just an hour-long segment.
I like it. I think that's a great idea.
I'm into it.
Look at you.
Right,
look at you. You brought the fire. You're bringing great ideas for new shows. I love it. This is quality entertainment here.
I woke up just throwing 7 different kinds of smoke today, and I was ready to go. And that's about it.
I love it.
So, all right, that's going to do it for us. We will be back later in the week. Check us out at coinhq.tv and the Twitter at coinhq_. And as always, until next time, don't get wrecked, and that is financial advice.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening. You can help support us by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and become a REKT patron by signing up for a monthly tier on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/REKT podcast. Don't get wrecked.